The day the sky burned, the world changed forever. It began with a roar that split the clouds, a sound so deep it rattled bones and hearts alike. The fire dragon, Ignather, descended upon the capital with wings like molten mountains. Each beat of those wings stirred storms of ash. The towers of men melted, the rivers boiled, and the sun vanished behind his firestorm. Aaron Vale had been a soldier then, a captain of the city's defense. He remembered how the stones beneath his boots turned soft, how men screamed as shadows consumed them. But what haunted him most was the silence that followed, when nothing remained but black glass and drifting embers. 5 years later, humanity had become ghosts of itself. The survivors lived in the ashes, scavenging for scraps of the old world. They whispered Ignather's name like a curse. Every sunrise painted the world in the color of his fire. Aaron lived among them still, his armor dented, his eyes hollow. He guarded a settlement built on the bones of the fallen capital, a handful of huts and melted ruins they now call Hollow Reach. Life was hard, but people endured. Humanity always did. One evening, as the horizon bled red, a stranger arrived, a woman in scorched robes, her face smeared with soot, but her gaze bright as steel. "I'm Lyra," she said, her voice rough from smoke. "I heard this camp still stands. That means you're still fighting." Aaron studied her. "We're surviving. That's not the same thing." Lyra unrolled a parchment covered in glowing runes. "I can change that. I've found a way to use the dragon's flame, to make it ours." The camp laughed. One of the hunters spat into the dust. "No one can touch dragon fire and live." Lyra met their disbelief with a quiet smile. "Maybe not before, but I've studied the old forges, the molten veins of the world. Fire is just energy. Energy can be turned." Aaron wanted to send her away. False hope was crueler than hunger. Yet that night, when Ignather's shadow passed across the moon again, and the wind brought the smell of burned villages, something inside him shifted. He remembered his daughter's last words before the fire took her. "Promise me you'll protect them." The next morning, he found Lyra at the edge of camp, studying the molten plains. "If you have a plan," he said, "then I'll see it through. But if you're wrong, we all die." She looked at him with something like pity and faith. "If we do nothing," she whispered, "we die anyway. Let's steal fire from the gods." That night, as the stars burned weakly behind smoke, humanity decided to fight back. They traveled for days into the scorched wilderness, the place once known as the Dragon's Wound. There, the earth was alive with rivers of lava and mountains that breathed smoke. Legend said Ignather was born from the heart of this very chasm. Lyra carried a device of her own making, a sphere of metal mirrors and silver veins she called a containment array. Her plan was madness, to capture a fragment of the dragon's eternal fire from the core that fueled his kind. Aaron led 6 soldiers, scarred men and women who'd lost everything but their courage. The air grew hotter with every mile, burning their throats. Even their tears turned to steam. When they reached the core, it was like standing before a living sun. The ground shimmered, the air screamed, and beneath their feet pulsed the rhythm of a god's heart. Lyra set the array on the stone. "When it opens, we'll have seconds before it overloads. Hold the circle." Aaron nodded. "Everyone brace. No one lets go." The ground exploded in light. Fire surged, wild and sentient, trying to consume them all. The soldiers screamed as the flame clawed at their souls. The array cracked. Lyra cried out, "It's too strong." Aaron didn't think. He stepped into the circle and grabbed the core conduit barehanded. Fire surged through him. His armor fused to his skin. His blood turned to magma, but he didn't release it. Through the pain, he shouted over the roar, "If this flame was meant to destroy us, then let's see how hard we are to burn." The fire bent. The light dimmed. The array stabilized. The flame captured. When the silence came, Aaron collapsed, smoke rising from his body. His veins glowed faintly with ember light. Lyra knelt beside him, eyes wide in awe. You took it in," she whispered. "You didn't just capture the flame. You became part of it." Aaron opened his eyes. They burned gold. "Then maybe it's time fire learns who it belongs to." Weeks passed. Aaron's wounds healed, but not like any normal man's. His veins pulsed orange beneath the skin, and his blood sizzled when it hit the air. Sometimes, when he closed his eyes, he heard a second heartbeat, deep, ancient, and powerful. Lyra studied him, worried and fascinated. The core bonded with you. It's rewriting you from the inside. You're not just human anymore. Aaron smirked bitterly. Then maybe that's what it takes to kill a dragon. But far away, Ignather stirred. From his throne of obsidian, he felt his fire's theft. His roar shook the heavens. Lightning flared red across the world as he called his kin to war. Lyra finished forging the weapon they dreamed of, the ember spear, forged from the core's energy. It thrummed in Aaron's hands, alive with cage fire. When he swung it, trails of molten air followed. Yet the more he used it, the more his humanity slipped. His eyes burned constantly. His skin cracked like cooled lava. Lyra confronted him one night. "You're losing yourself," she said softly. "If this keeps going, you'll become what you hate." He looked at her with pain and quiet resolve. "If it means they live, then let me burn." Before dawn, the skies turned crimson. Ignather had come. His wings blotted out the stars. His voice boomed like thunder. "Little thief, you dared steal flame from the sky." Aaron stepped forward, spear in hand, his aura blazing like a sunrise. "I didn't steal it," he said. "I took it back." Ignather descended in a cyclone of fire. The ground melted under his breath. His roar shattered mountains. But humanity stood its ground. Hundreds of survivors armed with the ember weapons Lyra had built from the core's gift. "Hold the line," Aaron bellowed, his voice echoing through flame and fear. The humans advanced, their weapons burning brighter than dragon fire. Lyra activated the runic conduit, a web of glowing sigils carved into the ruins of the old capital. It caught the dragon's flames and redirected them, feeding Aaron's power instead of destroying him. Ignather lunged, his jaws glowing like a forge. Aaron met him head-on, spear first. The clash of their powers turned night into blinding day. Each strike shook the land. Each breath scorched the sky. But with every blow, Ignather weakened, while Aaron grew brighter, his body dissolving into pure flame, his humanity a whisper beneath the roar of power. In the final moment, Ignather unleashed all his fire. Aaron caught it, every spark, every scream, and drove the ember spear through the dragon's heart. "You tried to burn us," he shouted, voice echoing across the world. "But your fire became our strength." The dragon fell. The sky cleared for the first time in years. When the ash settled, Lyra found Aaron kneeling among the ruins. His armor had melted away. His skin shimmered like living light. She whispered, trembling, "What are you now?" He smiled faintly. "Hope, made of fire." Above them, dawn broke, not red with ruin, but golden with rebirth. And in that light, humanity rose, not afraid of flame anymore, but forged by it.